With the release of ORAS, fans expected many features from the old games to make a comeback, along with new ones. One feature that didn't make it to the final game is the Battle Frontier. Although a disappointment for many, there is an interview floating around the internet with Junichi Masuda that seems to provide an answer. The Battle Frontier was introduced back in Pokémon Emerald, and it was a place where you can fight strong Pokémon trainers known as the Brains. The islands feature different facilities with its own unique style of battling, such as the Battle Palace and the Battle Factory. The idea of creating such a place can be traced down all the way back to Pokémon Crystal, as it first introduced the Battle Tower. The goal seems to be the same for such facilities. You battle a series of trainers, and by defeating them all, you obtain battle points that can be traded for very useful items. What the Battle Frontier did differently is how each facility had its own leader that you can encounter. Their level of difficulty was hard, and really gave a challenge to those hardcore players. These players are the ones who are disappointed that ORAS did not implement the Battle Frontier. There are many rumors out there saying that perhaps it's going to be a DLC for the near future, and is based on in-game text as different NPCs talk about the Battle Frontier being under construction. If a large enough part of the Pokemon community is disappointed, I feel that Nintendo and Gamefreak can provide such DLC, which will increase revenue and keeps fans happy. But as of now, the truth is that there is no Battle Frontier. I found this interview on Reddit that seems to explain why. It is an interview with Junichi Masuda, who is a director at Gamefreak. Please note that there was no way for me to verify it if the interview is valid. I don't speak Japanese and I cannot provide a proper translation. So I'm going to be reading the questions that relate to why there was no Battle Frontier to begin with. Quote, "We noticed ORAS had a lower difficulty level compared to previous Pokemon games. What brought you to this decision? Any chance that future games will have the possibility to adjust difficulty level as seen in Black and White 2? What? How come you already play the games?" Hardly laughter. The games were supposed to come out in Italy the day after the interview. "We created a balanced game that was suited for our time and age, where everyone is very busy and young people have various means of entertainment. Using smartphones and other devices, they can access great number of games, so the time they dedicate to a single game is less than in the past. The player can choose to keep on playing after the main story and continue to the post-game, where the difficulty rises and there are much more difficult trainers and challenges to overcome. Why wasn't the Battle Frontier in the remakes?" This question is connected to my previous answer. We didn't put the Battle Frontier in ORAS for this very reason. End quote. What this means is that the Battle Frontier was not implemented because Gamefreak felt that only a very small portion of the players would come in to appreciate such feature. They claim that in today's era of players, we have such an easy access to many games that less and less time is devoted to a single game. Perhaps there is some truth to this statement, but I feel that it only applies to the younger generations. As for us, the veterans, I feel that we still compose a large part of the community. And since ORAS is a remake, most likely the majority of players that purchase the games is because they were familiar with the originals. But I'm also a player that is with the times, and in my opinion, Gamefreak is somewhat right. The Battle Frontier served as a challenge, because back in those days, the only people you could battle were your friends. But now that Wi-Fi battles have been introduced, it seems that the Battle Frontier doesn't serve that purpose as much as before. Everyone is focusing on creating the perfect EV and IV team so that they can test it out with players all over the world. So in the bright side, we didn't get access to the Battle Frontier. Instead, we have access to the world and each other, no matter where you are. And to me, that is a far more greater accomplishment. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear your opinion, so don't forget to comment. If you want to stay up to date with all my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Zoe saying peace out until the next Pokemon video.